I'm now going to continue my video series on English grammar etymology with this. Take a look. Now I'm running a live stream right now, and that's why my camera's at an angle, but that's okay. Now, we have the word adjective. Where does the word adjective come from? Okay, it comes from two Latin things here. This is a, hold on. This is a Latin prefix. I'm going to show you this right here. I'm going to get real close. This is ad, A-D, okay? This is a Latin prefix, and it means to or towards, okay? It means to actually go to a place or go towards a place. Because sometimes when you're walking, you're going to a place, but you haven't quite arrived yet. Okay? Now, what about this one? I-A-C-I-O. What is that? I-A-C-I-O. I want you to write that down. I-A-C-I-O. Why? Take a look at that letter J right up there. Very important. In the Latin alphabet, there is no J. And if you know anything about Harrison Ford, you would know that in the Latin alphabet, there is no J. And that's a clue, and I want you to see if you can figure out the clue. Okay? And for those of you on the live stream, if you can figure out the clue, let me know. Let me know in the live stream. Alright, so if there is no J, what did they use in the Latin alphabet? I. Okay? So we have this I-A-C-I-O, which means to throw or hurl. Now let me explain that one to you. Okay? It means to actually, it'd be like if you picked up a rock and you threw it at a lake. And some of you guys, if you know anything about skipping rocks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You throw the rock and it skips across the lake and eventually goes down. Okay? So, you're actually throwing or hurling something towards something else. What does an adjective do? An adjective is a description, and it's throwing that description to something. And what is it throwing it towards? A noun. An adjective describes a noun. Okay, now I know it gets a little more technical when you start adding in verbal adjectives and all this other stuff, but we'll get into that later. Okay, because there's verbal nouns, verbal adjectives. It gets a lot more complicated later on. But simply put, an adjective usually throws something, a description, towards a noun. And that helps you identify adjectives. It really does. Okay? But how many times have you actually ever used a verbal adjective or a verbal noun? Really? Okay, and we'll get into that later, but most people, most regular people, do not use verbal adjectives and verbal nouns on a regular basis. We're not quite that formal here in the United States. I know maybe in England or something like that, they're a lot more formal, so maybe they do, but not here. Anyway, we will discuss all that later. In the meantime, that is what an adjective is, and now you know how the word actually got formed. Alright. Well, I want to thank you very much for watching this particular presentation. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.